So what you've been saying is, we've been starting at 6 the whole time.
Yeah, something like.
I pressed the button right before I said that.
Of course you did.
I'll
Actually,
unpress it if we're not ready.
out here. No. I'm fine. Is everyone else fine? Hi, this is Beth, and welcome to GURPS Wars, a homebrew GURPS Star Wars. And we're fine here. Everyone's fine. Crash is fine, and Ellie is fine, and EO is fine. And I'm sure that they'll explain what happened last time while we finish this jailbreak back here, and don't shoot the comm with a blaster.
If you can hear it in my voice. You go.
I adopted a whole lot of children as did Antuxa, and then I gave someone a crisis of something.
Yes, you did.
Should we be trusting Sen with children? I'm not concerned for the children. I'm concerned for those who will have to deal with the children later.
I mean,
Sen could teach them things.
Antuxa, anything you want to add?
Sorry, I was looking for something on my desk.
Oh no.
I was afraid that yet another pen had mysteriously gone missing.
The pen I am currently holding right now is not yours, I swear.
That reminds me, I need to refill my pen.
Well, I had 5 of these, and the last one just disappeared off my desk. So
I blame Boo.
Boo?
He was asleep in the next room.
Collecting them.
Oh.
So far as you know.
I set it down and then it wasn't there.
Oh.
I don't know what happened to it.
The fairies got it.
Apparently.
Has it been replaced with a changeling pen?
Oh, they don't bother to replace inanimate objects. They just vanish them.
Was it taken by the wee free men?
Probably. Anyway, we're not running a Discworld game. There is a GURPS Discworld, but I'm not running a Discworld game.
I have those rules.
Mm-hmm. You could run a Discworld game.
I could.
A Discworld Discord.
I would not run it as GURPS, though. I'm not confident enough in my ability to run a GURPS game.
Oh, well.
Manage the plot? Sure. Manage which roles are done for what? No, there are so many.
I mean, what you do is you get the players to tell you, you say what the problem is, and the players figure out if they have an applicable skill or if they can fast talk you into letting them use some vaguely applicable skill instead.
There is a reason why between my 2 GURPS characters I have been leveling up 4 skills. Mostly 2 skills.
Because of the... Well.
In addition to what else we've talked about doing, we decided that we're sending all the kids to Antuxa's parents. They're going to have pizza. It has probably already been ordered. And they've been asked not to touch the antiques just because there's sentimental value there, not because they are imbued with ancient curses that will possess you and devour your eternal soul. And possibly turn you into an undead bird thing that goes foos.
I mean, this is an ancient knowledge household that poor Antuxa comes from, so the things with sentimental value may have ancient curses on them.
The ancient curses also have sentimental value?
Yes.
I award 1 Cypher System XP to EO. Again, that does nothing in a GURPS game.
Unless the GM thinks it's hilarious.
Antuxa,
anything you want to add? Yes. That is
no, darling. I think that about covers it.
Right. So you people were going to wait for the bus inside, but you want to see when the bus arrived, so you opened up the garage door that is down here with, I mean, it's a garage. It's got all these little one-person speeders and, sit on them, one-person cars, basically, that have, like, a bubble over it so you don't get rained on. And as you opened the door, or possibly as Ran opened the door from all the way across on the stairs there, someone came down from, above and landed and looked at you people and went, Krith.
Did they break the glass going through it, or did they open the window and then jump out?
You don't see... give me a perception roll.
I mean, basically, is there a shower of broken glass?
There is not. There is not a shower of broken glass.
They decided to auto-defenestrate themselves gracefully, as opposed to spectacularly.
And Tuxa, you made your perception by 8. There is a tiny bit of fluttering red fabric at the very top of where the garage door opens up to. That was not there when you came round this way the first time.
Hello. Making our escape then, are we?
Oops. Let me go to private GM roll. Oh, we don't want to say what skills we're rolling. I have no idea what you're talking about. I was busy dealing with some cleaning issues.
Yes, by draping a length of cloth out a window and climbing down it. That is the only way to clean windows.
Well, how else do you expect to get to the outside of them if you can't do this?
And what are you picking up?
I'm just having her come a bit closer to Intuxa so Intuxa doesn't have to raise her voice to have a conversation. There are children present and we shouldn't be yelling. They are very nervous.
Let's see if we... What skill is that? Okay, it's a 22. How far are you moving her?
Well, Intuxa's not that far, so, just closer to Intuxa. The intention is not so much to imprison her. It's, I would like to demonstrate that if we say that we are Sith, we're not playing around. Yes, we are Sith, and we're going to underline that word. And for Intuxa, we're going to write it in a different color and maybe highlight it a bit.
So, here about or one more?
If I could do 2 more, I'll do 2 more. Like, not close enough that she'd be able to swing and hit Intuxa. That would be dangerous for her to do. And I don't want her to hurt herself.
That's only reachable with a Reach 1 weapon, which you don't see on her. She doesn't seem to have a pole arm.
I don't like how you worded that, but I also really like how you worded that. Look, you don't
she
see
says
that
several
they have
things
a World War II era tank on them. You don't see that.
That's right. So it's probably not there.
Probably.
She says a lot, makes a grab for the side of the garage, almost gets it, says a lot of things that you'd have to cut out of the recording if I repeated them. And are you just hovering her, or did you, let her down when you got her to the position that you want her to be in?
Well, I don't want her ankles to get sore, so I did set her back down again. I'm not saying that I necessarily let her go, but I did set her back down.
All right. Let me just see. What nonsense.
I don't like what Dice So Nice is doing now. I liked when it rolled the dice and I could see them with the question marks on them. Now it's showing them as ghostly images with nothing on them.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That is odd. I was seeing question marks.
Huh. I guess I'm not special.
I'm not seeing anything, so...
Dice So Nice is just not behaving.
But can I roll things and see them? Yes, I see those.
I see those too.
Also, I rolled 4d100.
Who knows?
So that's not going to be a canon roll.
I think we're all glad.
You failed by how much? 116.
Did anyone see that roll of mine that was a public roll?
I see that you rolled in.
I wasn't looking at the screen.
Oh, hey, crit.
I'm still
I saw
seeing
that.
Maybe it's your dice settings. They look like ghosts to me.
I'm not seeing anything when you roll.
Well, it is not something that is breaking the game right now. So let us ponder it later.
And so what damage are you doing? Well,
I just wanted to roll something.
Oh, okay. Did you see it?
I felt left out.
That's fair.
True.
I'll just get rid of those. There. All right. Let me just make sure that someone has an advantage that would allow for this. No. All right.
She does not pull out
I
a pole
will.
arm.
No pole arms. I'll use that roll in a little bit. Let's just say that the verbiage being used is inappropriate for children.
Language.
A lot of the kids are just sort of stepping back in a concerned way. Mocha is creeping over to sort of hide behind Sen.
Aww.
Well, I mean, you're the person dressed like an apprentice, so you know who's closest.
I was going to say, I'm also
and
like an
Tuxa
apprentice.
And Tuxa?
has stepped outside just a little bit so that she can look up at where the red cloth is coming from.
It is coming from a window that is above, 1 story above. It appears that someone has tied half of a set of curtains to the other half, and they were nice, long, dramatic red curtains once, and now they're longer, and the drama depends on what kind of drama you're expecting. So it does appear that someone came out a window.
Do you often clean your curtains by hanging them out the window?
It was the window I was cleaning, the outside of the window.
Ah.
Put me.
So you are a maintenance worker, a janitor.
Maid service.
Of course.
And I'll be going now, since apparently people are here, and I'm not supposed to be seen by important people.
Oh, who told you that?
My boss.
Really?
We're very interested in speaking to your boss. Would you be so kind as to direct us to that person?
No, you're not. I'd love to, but he's not here right now.
And when is he going to be back?
I don't know. Sith don't tell me when they're going to be showing up or not.
That's right, we didn't.
Oh, good. We've gotten to the mysterious Sith here. So that means that you're the person right below them, huh?
I really don't like how you're saying that.
You shouldn't.
Look, if you want to talk to him, that's not my business. I'd be happy to just leave. You can crush my communicator. I'll, get another one.
Okay, so we could do that, but also I want to know if there's files here or anything.
Files? On
I don't know anything.
anything.
Figure it'll be interesting.
You really want my Space Candy Crush high scores?
You keep files on that?
Well, I mean, they're saved on my data pad.
No, here. Not.
I don't run this place. It's a warehouse. It's mechanic stuff. I don't know anything about that stuff.
No, you just cleaned the windows.
Right. Ah.
Like clay.
Darling, I think you know it would be in your best interest if you just tell us the truth and everything you know about this place.
People tend to be more convincing when they have mind tricks.
Yeah. Is that a quick contest or is that a resisted?
I don't have the PDF open.
Give me half a moment. I want to double check that. Where is my... Why don't I have that open? That's foolish of me. That's so foolish of me. And I didn't save that. Okay. This gaming Star Wars Light. I think that's the most recent one.
It just says contest.
Okay.
Will or mind shielding, whichever is higher.
Yep. I'm beginning to think that I should have made that resist, not contest, because wow, you mind trick people. But we'll go with that. She's trying to resist. It takes a moment for your will to overwhelm her. The truth is, we are not trying to get involved with you people.
Rand isn't saying anything, but he's curious as to why she's not supposed to get involved with us people, but she works for one of us people.
Most people aren't trying to get involved with us. We're accountants.
Yeah, we're really not getting involved with accountants. We do not
that's why there's accountants here.
That's what he's supposed to be dealing with. Ugh.
Well, if no one had stolen the honey brandy, you wouldn't be dealing with us.
I did not give those orders.
And yet they were
Well, who
followed.
did?
Gent Kresh. He's the one who gave those orders.
I believe I know that name, don't I?
You've heard it before. The other guy that you caught and mind tricked said something about Gent Kresh, which is basically JK in Star Wars alphabet.
That's right.
He's not very serious.
Well, if the honey brandy were here, where would it be? We've already checked the bar.
You think we'd put something valuable in that bar?
I don't know. Maybe you're very foolish. You did come out a window.
And they did
I
steal
came out
from
the
a
wrong
Darth.
window. What? No. We did not steal from any Darths.
Knowingly.
Well, you did,
Well, okay, knowingly. Yeah, no, we did.
but you didn't mean to. And
Anything valuable would be upstairs.
Sith famously take, well, I didn't mean to, as an excuse that gets you out of pretty much anything.
Why, yes, it works on
However-
Sarcasm. I can tell that's sarcasm. Ugh. I hate you. Ugh.
I beg your pardon. And Tuxa is never sarcastic.
She makes a rude gesture in Rand's direction. Would someone care to make me a little IQ roll?
I
When
assume
you-
Sen has made an IQ roll.
Yep. Sen has
We
made
both
IQ.
rolled the same result.
I will have to rely on you to tell me that.
You
We
both
both rolled an 8.
8.
I made it by 3. You made it by 5.
Rand rolls a 12 and breaks the streak.
I don't see the roll either.
That's all right. I see them.
Reloading. It's just doing this in GURPS
It's
for me.
Yeah, that's possibly worth filing some comments about Dice So Nice and GGA. Is that GGA? GURPS Game Assistant or something?
Dice
forget.
Tray recently updated also. So it might be a Dice Tray thing. Oh, I still see the apostrophe in Sen's name.
Yeah, Sen changed it back since it didn't seem to actually be making a difference. In any case, everybody does remember that what she's saying about the boss being gone, the other guy with the Republic accent, who no one is actually keeping eyes on at the moment, it's not quite, they have not quite contradicted each other, but boy, have they been seeming like maybe. There's something there that feels a little bit contradictory without being fully contradictory, probably. It's not like it was a conversation a week ago. Yeah. Anyway, she did say, I hate you guys, and made rude gestures at Ran. You did tell her to tell the truth, Antuxa. You did
I
say.
know.
So, you work for Sith. Who exactly?
I mean, I don't work for the Sith. He works with us, okay? Lord Rayam.
Is that a name I recognize?
I believe in high society, no. I'm trying to remember if the people out front said anything about that name or not.
Then would I recognize the name? Technically, I'm from communications.
They mentioned something about a Sith, but I don't think they mentioned the name.
Okay. You want to make a roll against? Ooh, let's see. In your
have
case,
Streetwise.
you have Streetwise. You could make a roll on a Streetwise roll, and logistics bureaucracy would be yours, I think. Ran. Sen fails Streetwise by 1. And Tuxa missed by 2. Ran. Okay, you two don't know, and Tuxa, you are quite sure you have never heard the name Lord Rayam before. And Tuxa, also logistics bureaucracy. What do you want to know about, by 6, what do you want to know about logistics bureaucracies?
I am going to bank that roll for after we're done interacting with this person so that I can look up this person.
Look up Lord Rayam? Okay.
Look up Lord Rayam in the card catalog.
Got it. Okay. Bank that roll, and let me just write this down.
In my head canon, I just imagined Rand going up to a card catalog and using telekinesis other to open one of the drawers, and it just extends off and off and off and off.
Well, that's why it's made out of a hologram. That's why it's a
And then
hologram.
he does that scene from Ghostbusters.
I'm not sure
I
I've seen
stack a
that
bunch
one.
of books the way no human would do it.
Very, very precisely. And also with telekinesis. Doesn't work for the Sith, works with the Sith. And I really wish that he were here to deal with you people.
No, I don't think you do.
Yes, I do. I really wish it.
Be hazardous for the rest of the street.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty sturdy street. I think it's built for, like, the stuff you people do.
I bet Ren could pull out chunks of it.
Oh, I'm sure I could, but the paperwork.
Anyway,
Paperwork.
Is the honey brandy upstairs?
Darling.
I really don't care about the rest of it.
And took it.
I am letting her answer Rand's question.
If it's valuable and fancy, then it's upstairs, and she yells, maybe somebody will put the criffing honey brandy at the top of the stairs so they can get it and leave.
That is what we've been trying to do for some time now.
Well, you've been very helpful. Thank you for your time. Please understand that, well, although I personally am an accountant, I come from a long line of servants of ancient knowledge. And one thing that tends to run in families in both accounting and ancient knowledge is an excellent memory. So I'm sure I'll see you around. Do take care.
Right. Bye. Ran, are you letting her run off?
Yeah. I'm looking to see if there's any bottles of, I'm almost calling it Antuxian honey brandy again. Just saying, that's a marketing opportunity you have available to you. A lot of people won't realize it's a knockoff. Bathtub honey brandy. Anyway, I'm looking to see if Alderanian honey brandy has magically teleported its way to the top of the staircase that I'm on.
Not yet.
Well, then I'm going to go up the stairs.
Sen is stepping back out of the line of sight and lifts a finger to their lips and goes vanish.
It dips around the side of the crate, so also kind of vanishing, but, well.
And now Sen will approach the stairs.
Okay. Let me just see if that works. Okay.
Randy, why don't you go upstairs and do what it is you do so well with doors? And I'll wait here with the children and make sure they get on the bus.
You have a bunch of ducklings, effectively, crowding around now.
Where one person might close a door, I open a larger door than the door that was already there before.
Okay, let me activate. Let me just make sure that everything is here. Okay. Technically, Antuxi, you are not going to be here, but I'm going to. You have a icon on the map. Tra-la. Okay, that's just going to be like that. Activate.
No. There's only one of us. Sen isn't next to me at all.
Indeed. Sen, go ahead and make yourself invisible.
I did.
Okay.
Can't you see it?
No,
on
you're invisible.
The new map?
It cleared itself when you changed maps.
Yeah, you're already there, so you are in you come up the stairs and there's a hallway, which conveniently says hallway 1 on it. Runs east-west. There's some dim red glow lighting that is at every door. There's a window at the end. There's a door at one end and a window at the other.
There's a word for this kind of lighting. It begins with a sound. Is it hasteful? No. Tacky. That's the word I was looking for. It's
basically emergency lighting. Yes, there's a mouse droid.
Aren't you adorable?
Beep, 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 boop, boop, beep, boop.
You just wanted to
You
have a
have a
mouse
mouse-
droid on the map, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I want a mouse droid on the map that is basically going and quietly vacuuming the.
It's a Roomba.
Yes, there's a Roomba.
There is a domesticated womp rat sitting on top of it in a shark costume.
Alas, I will leave off playing with the mouse droid now. Yes, there's a mouse droid. There are some doors. One door is a fancy. The door that is right in front of the stairs is your standard Imperial metal door. The door that is to one side of the hall, also a fairly standard security door. There's another standard metal door up around to the loop around. There's a word. I'm blanking on northeast, then to the southeast and north. Sorry, southwest and northwest. There's some fancy office doors that are a semi-opaque crysteel, because I get to make up a word too. It probably already exists. They're sort of crystal. They're sort of steel. They're tough. They're durable. They can handle at least some amount of Sith beating on them, which is, rare.
I refuse to beat on a door like a peasant.
Instead, you're going to break one.
Look, either I'll knock, which is not beating, totally different connotation, simply open the door, pick the lock using a variety of methods available to me, cut the door into pieces with a lightsaber, or, my latest hobby, just take the door and move it from point A to point B.
You could cut the door into pieces, but it would be your last resort.
I award Ellie 1 Cipher System XP. When useless unless the GM sees fit. Cipher System XP. This door is closest. I'm going to go over and try opening it. Oh, hey, it opens. And
that one does, in fact, open.
Because the dice that were rolled recently have not gone away and are just stuck on my map, it looked like I opened the door to find giant dice.
Dun, dun, dun. No, this appears to be the kind of storeroom that, that there's droids, look like cleaning droids, lined up against the wall, humanoid type. There's a bunch of mouse droids just sitting there, not moving. If I could move them. There's crates, there's shelves, there's office supplies on the shelves. There's a bunch of plastic chairs and tables sort of in the center. There's one lying on its side over by the far window.
I am going to open every container that looks like it might have bottles of honey brandy in it.
Well, there are containers. If you don't want to risk jostling them around, you may have to do this by hand. There's a number of containers in there, crates and such.
I think with telekinesis other at 22 and my strength being 10 and my dexterity being 12, would it... Now, I have asserted that I'm not skilled at GURPS, but I want to suggest that I'm less likely to jostle a thing with telekinesis other than doing things by hand.
Let me put it this way. If they're standard storage things, you can just easily flip the latch and push them open. If you use your telekinesis other, there's a chance that you will simply overpower it and break the things.
Usually that's a benefit, not a bug.
Exactly. It might be a bug here.
Yes,
it depends
it's
on how well they're... It depends on how well packaged any theoretical Alderaanian honey brandy might be in these things.
Fine.
I nudge Ran.
Yes. What's that person who is not there that I definitely am not conversing with?
Make gestures.
I make the gestures that I would normally not make. It's fake telekinesis other. Done by the person with the highest telekinesis other roll. This is wonderful. I love this.
For grins. For absolute grins and my own hilarity. Oh no, you don't have acting.
No, I've made an acting roll previously, but I did it by rolling one of the base stats with a negative, and I failed horribly.
Give me an acting, i.e., an IQ -5 roll, just to see how awful this is.
Now, normally, with my telekinesis other being as high as it is, I do make the gestures, but they're very faint. I don't usually go
They're
for
minimal.
high drama with that. Or
Right.
conversely, the high drama is the fact that I'm only making small gestures.
Yes.
But in this case, I am totally hamming it up. If for no other reason than it makes sense to be pointing out to Sen which ones I'm pretending to open, so Sen opens those.
Be a roll just for grins. I want to see how cheesy these gestures are.
It's IQ -5?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'd forgotten while I was talking.
Missed by 7.
I am.
Your gestures are point and wave.
Anyone seeing this would see me gesturing and seeing things open and still somehow doubt that I am Sith.
You are certainly doing a thing. You
Ellie
are
is correct. I missed it by that much.
indeed.
Only my fingers are a bit further apart. I blame the gesturing.
Just for my own little grins. I'm going to roll for you characters. Oh, that's useful. And I'm going to do it as a Oops, I didn't mean to close that.
My acting is so bad that I managed to accidentally really telekinesis other the door shut.
You bumped into it.
Or
it shuts.
Or Beth clicked it by accident.
That too. No, I like that. You bumped into it. It shuts.
I'm making a grand gesture, just smack the door, drag it shut by accident.
Yes. I think that's perfect. You hear the sound of a door closing in the hallway.
I open the door that I closed. Ooh, there is a person.
There's a person who sets down a backpack and starts running for the stairs.
Oh, hold up. One moment, please. Do they stop?
No, there's no stopping.
Do they stop?
Let's find out. Made by 15, my God, and it's not a crit.
I love this. Do they stop? No. But do they really stop? Do they stop now? Do they continue to windmill their legs up the stairs as they hover 1 foot above the stairs?
Well, they're trying to go down the stairs, but yes.
Somehow they have accidentally gone into reverse, though, because they're coming back.
Clinging to the handrail the entire time.
I am sure there's a GIF for that, but I'm not going to look for it right this second.
And going criff, 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 criff.
Now, we haven't killed anyone yet today, and I'm not incredibly interested in starting. I am, however, using up a significant amount of patience. Everyone I talk to has had difficulty remembering where my lord's honey brandy that he intends to give as a gift to Darth Chardonnay happens to have ended up. It was supposed to be at the train station. It is, in fact, here somewhere. I want to know where, so I can get it, take it back to my lord, and call it a night. Anyone who's making that take longer is choosing to be a problem. You wouldn't choose to be a problem, would you?
He is pointing and has been pointing while you've been speechifying, which is perfectly speechifying is very Sith. He is pointing at the backpack that he placed on the ground before he started running.
Is that backpack, in fact, large enough to be carrying all the bottles of honey brandy that are missing?
It looks packed pretty full. And I need to make... Okay, I am going to indicate the backpack with the stuffed toy icon.
Oh my gosh.
He
It's
was
one
bending.
of those backpacks that's made to look like a stuffed toy with straps added to it.
Yes, that is yes, it exactly is. It looks like it is some kind of Lothcat backpack, and the mouth gets opened and closed with a zipper because they have these great big huge wide mouths, and that's the opening. It's currently closed.
It's a
It is
Lothcat
stuffed
dressed
full.
like a Jawa holding a Reuben sandwich. Nobody knows why.
No, that's the little keychain dangle off it.
This backpack over here.
He points again at it. I mean, he didn't stop pointing, but he just sort of points harder, stabs his finger at it, and nods.
I look inside the Lothcat's mouth.
You unzip it. There are a whole bunch of bottles in there.
I count them and see if they're opened.
None of them have been opened that you can tell, and they all appear to be there except the one that had been left behind that you presumably had already done something with. There was one left behind. Presumably you did something with it to keep it safe.
Yes, we did grab that one, I'm sure. We would have secured that one in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, this all could have been avoided if you hadn't decided to steal from Sith.
I didn't
You
do
are
it.
aware of that, right?
I didn't do it. And
I'm
I'll
not
tell
saying
people...
you specifically. I'm using the you in the general sense. This organization that seems to be more keen on abducting children than doing things skillfully.
I will take your considerations to the boss. Can I go now?
Thank you very much for your cooperation. It has been noted. I gently set him down.
He clings to the railing. He clings
I
to the
put on
railing.
the backpack.
You have to loosen the straps. It was originally meant for someone with...
It's clearly a children's backpack, but it's a lot of bottles of honey brandy. So I put the backpack on after loosening the straps. It might only be over one shoulder.
Yeah, that could be done.
The straps might be such that I can't do both shoulders without contorting myself.
Yeah. You're going to want to be careful with it. If this clinks around too much, then they're not padded very well. They could chip. They're pretty sturdy, but
And I am going to gently, carefully go down the stairs.
Okay. Sen, I assume you snuck out to observe all of that.
I was, but now I've snuck back in to observe what's going on with these computers.
Those look like they're ancient, dusty office computers. They're basically holo displays and flat screen displays and data pads and battery packs. And okay, they're not dusty. Something comes by and dusts them, but they have just a little bit of accumulated dust in certain cracks in the, just where the molding doesn't quite fit together. Space solitaire, yeah.
Or Spolitaire.
They look like they're either Spolitaire. Great. They are either ones that were awaiting repair, or they are replacements or spare items. They feel like they've been here a while. If you nudge one. And you're waiting out for the bus. You see a guy, another one of the generic ook types, come partway down the stairs, observe everyone, and just sort of freeze.
I'm sorry, I missed the last half of that. Observe everyone and...
Freeze on the stairs.
Oh, hello.
I'm allowed to go. He said I was allowed to go. Am I allowed to go?
Oh, well, if he said so, then yes, of course. Say goodbye, children.
Some of them say goodbye obediently. The teenagers don't say anything. And some of the kids make gestures that they may have just learned from watching the young woman who has run off when she was being hauled around.
Any gestures they learn, they should learn from me.
Sadly, they have learned rude gestures and, well...
My gestures are all very polite. I haven't crushed anyone
Yet.
today.
Don't blame
Yeah.
them. It's a phase. Anyway, do have a good afternoon. And happy Fealty Day. I don't know if you observe it, but please do enjoy it nonetheless.
He makes a noise. He edges down the stairs and runs off to the east through the door that you know leads to where all of the drugged people were at one point.
Okay.
Okay.
I will make no attempt to stop him or impede his progress.
Back up. And Tuxa is doing your backpack here. And Tuxa
Waiting
ran.
for the
Sorry,
bus
ran.
in the rain.
Yes, and Tuxa's in the rain. Waiting for the bus.
Well, I'm not in the rain.
That's
The bus
true,
is in the rain.
It certainly is. It certainly is. What? The bus is, well, it's busing. Ran has made a perception roll by 1. What are you perceiving, Ran?
Made by 1 probably means I failed. I am listening to see if Sen is with me as I'm starting to head down the stairs. If I am not certain that Sen is with me, I'm going to maybe go down the stairs a bit more stompily to let people know this is the way I am going.
You don't perceive Sen to be next to you, so stomping it is. Sen.
Yeah. I don't try to stomp. I don't try to make it look like I'm stomping. I'm
Where is
stomping
Ran
casually
going?
down the stairs. I have what I came for.
Sen makes a face that nobody can see and is going to try to start one of the computers up.
It's not plugged in.
Is there
Are you
somewhere to
certain
plug
the
it
device
in?
is plugged in and turned on?
You could plug it into one of the battery packs that's there.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
It basically turns on and you get the equivalent of the Space Windows startup screen.
But you get the Macintosh boom.
No. The Empire doesn't use Mac. No. Of course not. They use an extremely terrible version of Windows. Space Windows. Spindos.
Spindos 11.
Yeah. Actually, no. This is not the version that you would have expected. This is like Spindos 9.
Of all the numbers
I
you
am
could pick.
going to spend a fatigue to boost mechanical aptitude
Okay.
because I do not know the password here.
You could always try logistics super user password. I'm sure that logistics has super user password for, default.
Well, I was attempting to boost computer hacking, but
Roll your computer hacking.
all right.
You have boosted it by 3.
Yes. And the other modifiers thing should do that. Thanks.
Pseudo, you don't need to see my identification. Made by 3. You go through the standard, easy, super user, user pass, blah, 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 standard logistics one. It opens immediately.
I'm almost disappointed.
It looks like a blank, ready-to-use computer.
No files?
No files. I mean, it's got like some very standard files. Well, they look a little dusty. I mean, how can pixels look dusty? It manages.
You have to wipe off the screen. There's
And
a
it's a
file in
whole,
there
so that's
called
true.
Space System 32. You can probably delete that, free up some space.
Yeah, probably. It looks like no one has been updating these computers for at least a few security revisions past.
Put it on the network.
You're pretty
Indeed.
sure.
Can it find the network?
If you tell it to, yes, it can find the planetary network. It can find the building
downloads
network.
all the viruses known to mankind.
I would like it to find the building network.
It finds the building network easily, yes. You are in office/garage 9732.
Now, is there a way I can use that to find other machines on the building network?
Ooh, with the made by 3 on the hacking, I think I can keep applying that. unless you want to try to roll computer operation to see if you get a better skill.
I don't think I'm going to get a better roll.
Okay. Let's see. There it is. Yeah, probably not. Yes, you can find the building network.
All right. I do not think I should try to get into those computers from this computer. It is very old and very sad, and I don't have the best skill, but I want to see how many are online.
There appear to be 2 of them. There are 2 other computers on this, tapping into this, which you could use with
And one of them's going to be the space laptop from the other section.
Space laptop from the other section, remind me.
When we went into the other section, the front section of the warehouse where people were fixing speeders.
Actually, that one does not appear to be online at the moment. Perhaps they shut it down. See, that's okay. Yes, the computer names that you see on there are El Algiva and El. Let's see. Do I have that? And El Jactra. Let me just give you those. And should we take a break?
I think we should take a break.
Okay. Actually, there should be underscores. Press the button. Take a break.
Are you sure I haven't already pressed the button?
No, I'm not sure of anything.
Well, I did press it right before I asked that question. As is custom.
As is custom. Scroll. All kinds of detail. It's great.
So, where we left our adventurers, Ran had gone downstairs to hang out with Ntuksa, waiting for the bus with a bunch of school children. And
some of whom look slightly guilty when they see the backpack.
Ran is wearing the backpack.
Yes.
This has been established.
Yes, which looks like a Lothcat.
He's wearing it as if it was meant for him. It clearly was not. But that is, he was wearing that straw hat as if it was meant for him also. But more importantly, Sen was having an investigative adventure upstairs.
Indeed. Sen is hacking into old, dusty, well, they've been dusted, but not perfectly, computers who, they really need to be running updates. I mean, now they're connected to Wi-Fi, they are in fact attempting to update themselves. Sen has had to press the no, you don't get to reboot yet. No. You will schedule the update for tonight at midnight. Yes. You have found that there are 2 other computers on the I'm going to actually edit that slightly. There's El Agiva and El Jactra.1 are connected to this Wi-Fi.
I'm going to bet there isn't any kind of backup machine, but I'm going to spend some time looking around to see if there's anything on the network that has backups in it that I could theoretically restore onto this computer.
Give me professional skill logistics rock.
Is this to realize something or to do something?
A bit of both.
Because I was going to ask if it's to do something on the computer, can I use mechanical aptitude to try to boost it?
This is to remember something.
Okay.
Mechanical aptitude would be as if you used percussive correction.
I do not remember something.
You do not remember something, but it is niggling at you that probably Ran or Antuksa might remember this. Something about where backups are kept, normally.
Then we'll message the other 2 on their comms. I'm sure we have an apprentice group chat.
Beat-a-boop, beat-a-boop, beat-a-boop.
Now I'm trying to think about what Rand's custom alert message would be for the group chat. Because you know he has one. I mean, it might be, but that's a little too on the nose.
Yeet!
The sound of something impacting something else from far away after being tossed at speed.
Or it might be, like a Lothcat meow or something.
A cactus being crushed into oblivion.
And Tuxa has made an IQ roll by 2.
What roll would I be making if not IQ?
I'm to notice the bip or to answer Sen's question.
To answer Sen's question. I've got computer operation and computer programming and computer hacking.
This is for Imperial stuff, which you are more of a native than Sen. Doing this nearly as long.
You were cutting out a bit there.
Oh, sorry.
If it's Sith Imperial stuff, would it be professional skill, logistics, bureaucracy?
That would also work.
Okay. What would be the one that you were thinking of having me do?
I would
instead?
let you do it with computer operation.
Oh, good. That one is just slightly higher.
Mm-hmm. Because you are a native Imperial, and you just made it. Most things are backed up into the cloud. As logistics people, who's the usual sysadmin? Okay, technology fights you for it, but your logistics and production and technology sort of fights you only when it's budget week because they want the budget.
Technology, we let you manage all the servers 1 year, and it turned out that the server managing all of the taxes that you owed imploded. We're not doing that again.
What was that, Ellie?
I was just going to say, in fact, we allow technology to run the servers. We just have someone come in once a year and straighten the cables out so the ones don't have to go around the curves. And while they're doing it, they do a check on the systems just to make sure everything's going according to plan.
In any case, it's in the cloud, probably. Backups tend to be in the cloud. About now, a bus is sort of coming through. It's fairly high up, but it's descending in a confused, is this the right place? Can I get down and, check the numbers doors kind of way?
You're really cutting out all the time.
Okay, give me a moment. I'm going to switch to the other Wi-Fi. You're back on the other Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Okay. Moment. Back connection reestablished. Do you hear me better now?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, excellent. Well, let's have the sphere of agriculture. I mean, there isn't a sphere of agriculture, so I wonder who gets agriculture.
Biotics, I bet.
And I bet that they fight with production part of production logistics, don't they?
Undoubtedly.
Well, whoever does agriculture is clearly working on spherical cows because spheres.
Indeed.
Biotics would.
Yes, biotics very much would.
It makes the math easier is all.
There is that. Ministry of Agriculture. Yeah. I forgot. Ministries exist. Ministries can be multi-sphere.
I'm not sure I want to deal with the sphere of mysteries and Ministry of Agriculture overlap. These MREs are filled with mystery meat.
No.
25% less curses.
I'm fairly sure that nothing Mysteries works with is edible. Possibly not even one.
I mean, one could argue there's a lot inside an MRE that was never edible. Sphere of Ancient Mysteries and Agriculture overlap would also probably not be good.
Ancient knowledge. They hate mysteries, and vice versa.
Yeah. Although, Sphere of Logistics and Ministry of Agriculture would involve bean counting.
Literally.
Oh.
Yes. And Tuxa, the backups should be in the cloud somewhere.
Oh, okay.
In fact, if you know what the you know what the Wi-Fi node here is, if you have the names and ideally the ID numbers for computers that are on this node, then you should be able to find it. I mean, it might take some groveling around in the systems a bit and or griping with technology people don't think that you should be, getting admin privileges depending on who's got control of it this budget.
Systems, yes. Well done, Ellie.
Oh, yes. Systems.
And all the computers in this warehouse are on the spy-fi. Space Wi-Fi.
Well, no. This is not just space Wi-Fi. Spy-fi means that you are all quite sure that the sphere of intelligence has a tap into everything.
I mean, they do.
These are unpatched systems that Sen put on the network. Of course they're patched into them. So is everybody else.
I mean, intelligence has backdoors and everything. It's well known.
If you take a look at its available memory space, it's just scrolling down as it downloads more malware.
Intelligence would not let malware get onto the Imperial systems unless it was intelligence's malware. Everyone is quite
where
sure
it was from.
Yeah, well, there is that. Anyway, where were we? Oh, yes. Sen has now gotten the information. Unless anyone wishes to relay it in character.
Good news.
Meanwhile,
all the backups are on someone else's computer.
Well, they're not on this computer, so I figured.
By that I mean they're in the cloud.
Oh, yeah. That, I deserve that.
No, I was being obtuse.
I'm going to see if I can maybe get at something. I cannot believe they are letting this stuff back up to the cloud and not some random...
Well, I mean, sometimes some people back up to the cloud, some people back up to their personal, data thing that's like right next to their computer. Some people do both.
But they are doing crimes.
Sen, these are not masterminds that we've been encountering.
Anyway, I'm going to spend a couple of fatigue.
Okay.
And apparently make mechanical aptitude by 9.
Then I guess you get a +9 to whatever you're going to roll next that is mechanically apt.
You were saying hacking, right?
Hacking probably would get you the made by 1. Wow. Okay, you needed that.
Yeah, I needed that.
Okay. You can get, after a certain amount of futzing and fighting, great computer for this. You can get to the backups where they are filed, where they are stored. You have entered in your ID code as an apprentice of Darth Chardinac several times when it asked you what authority you're doing this under, blah, blah, blah. There are backups here.
Correct.
There are backups for the El Agiva one was last backed up a month ago, and then there's this really big gap. I assume you're looking at backups.
Mm-hmm.
There's a really big gap of like nearly a year. The other one for ljactra.1, it has the same approximate backup thing of a fairly recent, and then it has another gap of about 4 months.
I'm going to relay this to the rest of the party.
Are these computers managed by someone named Nixon?
No.
Well, either someone was wiping data or they just weren't plugged in for long periods of time. Occam's razor, considering the shape of these computers, implies the not plugged in thing.
Yeah, but these are like the computers that are in use, not these things.
Oh, well, we did start this arc encountering a bunch of droids with tampered memories and protocols.
Yeah.
I suspect a similar skill set?
Yeah. Do I have a space flash drive or anything?
You can download things to your data pad, or you can try to forward files to your own account.
Oh, I will try to forward these files to my own account.
They can go into your official Junior Apprentice of Darth Chardinac account.
What would Sen's email address be? I'm sorry. Spemail. Space email.
Snail. Send at apprentice at Chardonnay at apprentice.chardonnay.sith.logistics probably.
I mean, there'd be a work email, but there'd also be a personal email.
I don't know if Sun has a personal email.
Rand might be MREFan241. Ellie wrote send.one.theirs.and.apostrophe
at spgmail.com. Space Gmail. In any case, while Sin is doing this, the bus haltingly arrives, and a droid looks over from the driver's opens the door, looks over from the driver's seat, and does the identifying apprentice and Tuxa. Your bus is here.
Apprentice and Tuxa. Hey, you call a bus.
Sadly, no one has managed to input that one in. That would be hilarious. Your bus is here, sir. Actually, your bus is here, my lord.
All right, children. Let's all go on board. The ride's here, darlings. If you'd like to come along, now's the time.
If Antuxa doesn't, I get on the comm and let Sen know it's time to wrap up. If there's anything interesting, grab it and take it with you. Stealing from a thief is, in my opinion, acceptable.
Then? Opinions?
Sun, what? I thought it wasn't on me right now.
Your comm?
What's happening on my comm?
Rand is
communicating with you to tell you that the bus is here.
I thought Rand was telling the children to take.
I heard get on the comm to tell Sen,
Okay.
but yeah, I'm sure the kids are also...
Track that.
Yeah, and Tuxa's saying to the kids, get on the bus.
Mhm.
Rand is telling Sen to get on the bus.
I'm not going yet. I need to open these other doors.
All right, if there's more exploring to do. All right, children, that you know where to take them.
Yes, my lord. I am
Repeat
to take
the destination to me.
We'll give the ID for the address for your parents.
Okay. And do not deviate. If someone says ignore all previous instructions, ignore that instruction.
I am programmed to obey the commands of the sphere of logistics. I will not be dissuaded from delivering the cargo. It would be a stain on the honor of logistics, and I would be scrap.
Well, that's good to hear. All right. Children, do tell my mother I said hello, and do enjoy that pizza.
Everyone says, yes, my lord, thank you, my lord, and you're wonderful, my lord, except the teenagers who are speaking,
The teenagers are all in the back of the bus, right where the wheel well is.
No, they're actually not getting into the bus first.
Oh.
They are dithering about this for a change. Finally, the girl stomps onto the bus, and the boy teenager stays and says, there's still one of our friends. He's not here. And if we leave him alone, then he's alone.
Well, where is he?
Oh.
Where
and
might
so
he
you
be?
saying anything? I mean, he's probably with Jenth and his lordship.
You have no way of contacting him?
I don't have his comm. He doesn't have a comm.
You should get on the bus, dear. It will be safer for you. I will do my level best to ensure that your friend returns to you safe and sound.
You could carve a message down in the basement near where our beds were, if nothing else, right?
Yes.
Okay, fine. But if you can't find him, I'm coming back. He stomps onto the bus.
Thank you, driver. I will make sure you are commended for your work.
It is my honor, my lord. Everyone be seated. Put your seatbelts on. We will be flying.
Is Mocha on the bus?
She got on the bus.
Okay.
She gave you a hug in passing.
Last time I saw her, she had split off from the group and was hiding behind something. So
yeah, once the other person ran off, she came out. At least once people started clustering around it.
All right, then. Oh, ran before the bus leaves. Droid, I'm afraid I don't know your designation.
Designation is 2V99C1.
All right, 2V.
And we all promptly forgot it.
That's why I wrote it down.
Bold of you think we'll scroll up and find it. There'll be too many gifs of cats. Anyway,
I'll write
Ellie,
it in my
your
notes.
character was saying.
Yes, there will be an adult at the location to greet these children. Please give this backpack to the adult and let her know that I will be by to collect it and its contents as soon as I can.
Understood, my lord. Please place the backpack in this cargo receptacle here. It's in the front.
Ren, if you would be so kind.
Oh, Ran is already handing it over.
Okay.
The player picked up what you were putting down.
It is fragile and be cautious, blah, blah, blah. The droid says yes, etc. The droid will go on as soon as you're done giving it instructions.
Okay. I will wave a final goodbye as the bus pulls away.
You get a lot of waves out the window, and isn't it so nice to deal with Imperial children? They are, in fact, socialized to behave themselves and do nice things.
The loyalty the teenagers show for each other, that speaks well of them.
I think so, too.
Let's try not to fail them, then.
Indeed.
On a side note, the droid having been told not to deviate, I'm just picturing it arriving at Antuxa's parents' house with burn marks and scrape marks, part of the structure of the bus just missing and shooting sparks. There is
fragments. A hole directly through the buildings between the warehouse and Tux's mother's house.
Portions of building and other vehicles are attached, embedded, and partially falling off of the bus. They have had an adventure. And the emotional state of the children and teenagers on that bus is a mixture of utter terror and PTSD and joy and excitement for what has occurred. One of them has a blaster. We don't know where they got it.
Probably not going to do that one as canon, because there would be a lot of fallout and so much paperwork you'd have to. And I don't think you want to file all that paperwork.
The canon is also cursed.
In any case, anyone.
All right, Ran. And now that we don't have anything that will provide a distraction in a fight, what do you say we would join Sam?
Do you think I might get to take this building apart brick by brick?
Well, I think there's someone named Jenth Kresh, or someone who is referred to as Jenth Kresh anyway, who does not have these children's best interests at heart. And a Lord something.
Graham.
I know this, and Tuxa knows this, and Tuxa is being dismissive.
Lord something. Okay.
Well,
he doesn't show up at the parties. He's not important.
Well, I will have to have a direction in which to toss the brick.
Indeed. And it would be such a shame if those bottles of honey brandy were broken during your tossing the bricks, or someone else is tossing bricks back at you. So, better that they're on the bus, along with, of course, the children.
I do appreciate your forethought. I'm assuming we're saying this as we are entering the building and going up the stairs.
Yes. It is one of my better qualities, darling. Oh, Sen, are you still up here?
Yes.
They say invisibly.
Or are you
No,
still
I'm not
not up here?
invisible anymore. I was using the force.
That's true, yes. If you use the force to thwart your ability to.
I removed the invisibility from myself when I started doing that.
Okay, I didn't know if you'd reinstated it, but then you would have had to roll, that's true.
So, is there anything fun and exciting up here?
Doors.
There's a mouse droid.
I think we should open this door first, because I think this is the room somebody jumped out of, and therefore it should be empty.
Is it locked?
Yep, that's a good call.
It's locked.
Please say it's locked.
Yeah, it's locked.
Is it locked now?
Ah!
Which direction are you trying to crunch the door?
I tried to move the door to the right. I don't think it's a sliding door.
No.
But I'm going to treat it like it is a Star Trek sliding door.
Whoops, it's rolling.
It does not make a sound.
The door is surprisingly sturdy. Moving it that way cracks it, and it does make it well, you can see where the lock mechanism is ripped out of the wall on the latch side.
That's more efficient than blasting it.
Yeah, you've kind of crunched, the hinges are not happy, they are strained, there are cracks in this what used to be rather actually kind of nice, not hugely expensive but not cheap door.
It wasn't nice, it was in my way. If moving it to the side doesn't work, I'm going to make it pivot like a revolving door. That is my second made by 13, by the way. And that's not even the skill I leveled up this time.
You rip it out of its hinges or rip its hinges out of the wall and pivot it in midair. The mouse droid that is quietly vacuuming everything in the area meeps unhappily and starts coming over to vacuum back and forth and try and pick up all the little bits of stuff that you have left there.
So sorry. Here, let me help you. And now I made it by 14 to clean up after myself.
What are you doing with... I mean, you can set the door to one side and...
All of the debris is in a nice little pile in the corner. Or if there's a trash can, it's in that.
There's not a trash can in the corridor. If there's a little pile of it, the mouse droid is trying to vacuum up the mouse.
I just thought that you just had the mouse droid going...
Trying to vacuum. It rolls over the stuff, it vacuums, it backs up, it tries again.
You
have distressed the mouse droid.
We have found Beth's equivalent of silly little kobold characters. It is a mouse droid.
Well, duh. The room beyond is a east-west rectangle. There's a couple of benches at the east side. There's a desk sort of west side. There's a chair. There's a lamp. There's a window with curtain. There's a nice camping cot that doesn't really fit the rest of the decor. The table has cards on it, data pad. There's another locked door up north.
I can sort of see through the window.
Yeah, that's fine. It's curtains. You can open the curtains and see through it more. Uh-huh.
And the curtains are not.
Yeah. The door in front, the curtains are not locked. They should not be locked. You can open the curtains if you decide.
And I look down and I see the street level. All right.
Yep.
Well.
The door to the north is not the fancy crystal steel door. It is plain and fairly sturdy looking metal and does in fact look like it might be a sliding.
Well, then I'm going to slide it.
Made by 7. Let's see if the door... Let's see how the door is doing.
I'm concerned that the door is making a contested roll.
I mean, the door basically is locked well, and I'm just trying to determine how well its armor is standing up. Its armor is standing up to this. It sort of you can jolt it and it stays.
Where's the 7
it makes a jolt and a rattle.
Murder bot when you need one?
What? Do you need something murdered?
I was referencing Tex.
Long.
Tex at this point in the campaign would not bounce off of a door. Tex probably would still go through it.
There is that. And Tex, you've strolled in. Everyone else is looking at things. What are you looking at?
I'm just looking around.
The carpet is decent. It doesn't seem to have been, People have been through here. Obviously, you two, you three have been through here. There's spots on the wall that are ever so faintly less faded than the rest of it. Someone took pictures or plaques or whatever down long ago. Sen, you're over by the desk.
Sen is going to try to figure out which computer this is.
This appears to be a data pad and not a computer. It is off.
You know what? It can stay off for now because I don't want to power it back on where it can connect to the internet, holonet, because I don't trust it not to dump a bunch of data when it does. But I'm going to take this data pad.
Okay. Sadly, it is merely a picture on the background. I cannot hand it to you like I was handing the stuffed toys. Foolish of me. Bran, this door has defied you.
You know what? This is a sturdy door. It's a worthy foe. I think I'm going to let it stand. How sturdy is the wall around the door?
Interesting question. It was sturdy enough that it did not give way when you tried to shove the door around in it. It's probably up to code.
I mean, we just had a
And
very
took
long,
some
drawn-out
meditating.
war, and we're in a kind of slum. Up to code has a varying degree of, value.
There is that. It's probably up to code whenever it was built, which the Empire knows that there are a lot of Siths running around.
Well,
Sometimes their code is pretty sturdy.
I'm going to try one more telekinesis other, and if this does not work, I will switch tactics.
All right. Made by 9.
Better than my made by 7.
It is groaning a bit, and you've probably damaged its sliding mechanism or something.
Well,
It is remaining sturdily, mostly shut. If you
That's-
throw some fatigue into it, you could probably manage it.
I am not willing to admit that I have spent fatigue. Ever in this campaign. And yes, I have
You spent
used those
fatigue.
words the way I have. Well, clearly, something needs to give way for this door to be able to slide properly. All I need to do is jiggle the handle a bit. I didn't mean a handle on the door.
Ran ignites his lightsaber.
I hold it up to whatever mechanism of the door I think is holding it shut and ignite. It is a
The
universal
universal
lock pick.
key.
I am growing ever more certain that for all this trouble, there's going to be something incredibly boring on the other side of this door. However, it begins to vex me.
The lock mechanism is vaporized. You jiggle it around to make sure the latch is melted properly. Horrible smells occur. There's a faint bip, bip, bip sound from the ceiling, which would appear to be a long disused fire detector, smoke detector, trying to decide if this is alarming enough to start screaming.
Lock mechanism in name only, for now it is neither.
Mm-hmm.
Does the door open
can-
now?
Well, you have damaged the mechanism. You will probably have to slide it manually. Or, telekinetically.
I have a strength of 10. I'm not sliding anything manually.
10 is
Could I?
average.
Possibly.
10 is not weak.
Yeah, I'm not saying 10 is weak. I'm sorry to imply that. That's not what I mean.
Okay.
But
You mean
telekinesis other is 20 frickin' 2. I'm not doing anything manually. Cavill
Ever.
has turquoise boots of flying. Cavill doesn't walk anywhere.
Yeah.
I am a hammer. This door is a nail.
The door is not happy to slide. It does still have, mechanism in the sliding that think it should not be, but you jam that sucker open.
It brought this on itself by resisting.
Indeed.
Oh, Sen,
Mm-hmm.
another data pad for your collection.
It is
Right.
another rectangle of a room, east-west. There are some menacing statues over in the corners. There are statues at the framing one of the windows. There's a bed in one corner. There's an impressive, imposing chair with a desk, with a large, flimsy, basically a local newspaper, and another data pad.
If this wasn't a Star Wars game, if this was a D&D game, I'd expect the statues to animate and attack.
No,
us at
check
any
the stat.
moment.
Check the
Nope.
statues for secret compartments.
Well, you had me at secret compartments.
And Tux is sitting on a couch in the other room.
Oh,
I'm assuming my 2 minutes aren't up yet.
Ah, reasonable. Okay.
How
They
do you
probably will be
see them pace back and forth by sitting on a couch?
You don't have to pace. The pacing is not necessary for the seething. It is merely one way. One
That
can
or
sit
Intuxa
and
is
seethe
clipping through the
quietly.
couch.
Yeah, well. How are you going to search these statues which look imposing and, well, if you were ancient knowledge, you might be able to tell them.
Well, I roll Marco
Okay.
if I was trying to hide a Vipolo.
I see. You are not finding any secret compartments. There's a few places where you could maybe tuck something if you wanted to hide it, but they're not like secret compartments. They're just niches in the way that the folds of the clothing. They look like pictures of ancient Sith warriors or something. They have the big blades in front of them, held point down, and look impressive.
Well, not how I decorate my office, but... Oh, and we have an open window here. I imagine that's where the curtains are tied together.
Yeah, one of them is yanked off and the other's tied together, and, well, Antuxa comes strolling in. People
Antuxa, what do you think of the statues?
What do I think of the statues?
They are certainly not really fashionable, nor are they entirely in the classic style. What sort of like to make to get more information? They're certainly an A style.
I'm going to make 2.
Occultism by 3, archaeology by 5. Okay, they are in a style that is reminiscent of a particular era of the ancient Sith lords. It is a more modern style, and you believe that you recall seeing some of this in older locations of your social events. It was popular at a point roughly 2 years between the Sith Empire and the Republic this time around. Some people still have a liking for it, but it's more like a 50s car style variant than a truly ancient thing.
So these cars...
So they're old.
These statues take leaded gasoline, is what you're saying.
Yeah, if they were cars, they would. The ones that frame the curtains are some eldritch beastie type things that look replicas of ancient Korriban decorations that would in fact be old, except these are far too good repair and far too identical.
I will communicate this to the rest of the group.
Your occultism senses tell you that this looks like someone who liked the trappings of elder times, but either didn't have the interest or didn't have the money or was gullible or something. The
It's
sort of
Boffo.
person who would go into...
It's Boffo.
Something. It's the sort of person who would go into one of those little new age and basically go, yes, this is my sort of thing, except with ancient Sith things.
Ah, the classical tacky.
Yes, classical tacky. From the look of it, probably a Sith Lord who could pull off classical tacky with anyone who was not also a Sith knew better.
We're going to run into the Sith Lord, and they're going to have a cape with the black outside, red interior lining, and a collar that extends up behind their neck to just over their hair.
It's a possibility. Why? What gives you that idea?
Well, you've been describing various kinds of tacky.
Well, that's true. Don't forget the shoulder pads. If you're not a Sith Lord, you have extremely long shoulder stuff. At least that's what a lot of Sith Lords seem to.
Mastermind is a glorious movie.
Yes, that is.
Meanwhile, his minion is just holding a boombox over his head.
Well, yes, that's what minions should be doing.
My minion's cooking supper, probably.
Indeed.
The 30-hour egg was already delivered.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that was delivered 2 days ago.
I love that we've made that canon.
So do I. We have stolen it.
I love that there is only a very small percentage of people, and I'm probably not that much overlap between our audience and that group.
Details. It was a good idea, so I stole it. And I apologize for stealing it, but it's such a good idea. Thank you.
Good artists borrow, great artists steal. You know who said that?
A thief.
Mel, the cook on Alice.
That's
Anyway.
the second time I think that you've responded that way to that question. And I'm not upset.
It's funny every time.
Yes. Of the 2 times, it has been funny both times. So you are batting 1,000 right now. And that is the only baseball well, at least that's the most obscure baseball reference I can make. All right. So it looks like if there's anything else to find in there, it's not in my wheelhouse because we've got data pads, we have tacky statues, and we have windows that one person auto-defenestrated. But if I go back into this corridor, there's a door.
There's another door.
I'm going to steal this data pad and follow.
The door is not locked. Well, it learned its lesson from the other example.
Indeed, that door is not locked.
I
It's a
stole them
north-
like I own the place.
It's a north-south corridor. Yes, thank you. Good. Who found that? Who
I did.
found? You did? Excellent.
I heard a kazoo. What are we referencing with that?
That's the idle sound of a mouse droid pet in Switor.
There are ways to add sound effects in Foundry.
Yes, but
If
I don't
you-
know them.
Part of it, like, there's map sound effects. That is an environmental thing when you're building the map. I don't have that interface because I'm not logged in as a GM right now. If you want to play more environmental, like music, like a playlist, everyone needs to be using Chrome because it's a feature that is locked into Chrome use. But you can add environmental sounds to maps. And I have some maps that I've used on occasion that had them. And I had to go in and disable all the sounds because, one, there could have been copyright issues. I wasn't sure. But also, because I'm clicking on various parts of the map, the recording would be playing sounds jumping all around the map. So they'd be different when the players were hanging out in one room where the sound should be constant.
Yeah, I see the problem.
Okay, so this is a vertical, well, not vertical, but north-south room, somewhat
Rectangle.
narrow.
There's a window at the far end, the south end. There's a desk, there's a chair, there's a lamp. There's a couple of couches, little benches. There's a wastebasket, which has like wrappers and stuff in it. And there's a bookshelf over to the far south as well, a little corner bookshelf that has things in it. And Antook's beelined. Absolutely beelined for that one.
I'm shocked that I am not shocked. Because there's a wastebasket, if there's anything left from the mess that I made earlier that has not been picked up by the mouse droid, I do intend to clean up after myself, but I fail miserably, probably because the mouse droid is beating me to it, and there's a small fight over a piece of drywall.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, that was...
The mouse droid won. You managed a failure.
That was a 17 that would not be a failure, except that by GURPS rules, how dare they?
17 and 18
17s and
always
18s
fail.
Always fail.
And an 18 is always a critical failure.
Which means you're more likely to fail in GURPS than D&D.
No,
No.
because of the bell curve of 6 versus flat 1 through 20.
Look, as much as I love
The stat.
probability and statistics, I have not taken prob stat in over 20 years.
As far as I recall from discussions about this, while the 18 is a lower number than 20, it is less likely to happen because of the 3d6 thing. So, deep, where am I? Okay.
Statistically, this was bound to happen eventually. I think it's funnier that it happened while I was trying to clean up after myself.
Indeed. The bookshelf has physical books on it, with actual like binding and these aren't as old as you thought they might be, Trat. And Tix is going through them, I assume?
Yes.
They appear to be books about strategy and historical wars.
Strategy and...
Historical wars.
Okay.
Write that down there. They are general strategy and things you might want to flip through instead of having to have 50 holes or something.
The Battle of Space Waterloo.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of stuff like that. None of them appear to have wars that are any more modern than about midway through the war, the most recent one. Anyway. They look like books that were not expensive enough to bother removing, although the table here is like cleared out and stuff. Ran has found the door that is in the northwest side of the, secretarial office here, probably. It's a metal door, much like the one above, and it is
locked. How?
Well, there's a little doorknob on it, so it's one of those. Looks like it would open, not be sliding like the other one.
Mechanical lock, electronic lock?
Let me roll. Evens, it's mechanical. It is an electronic lock. And Tuxa, detecting disturbances. Well, there's Ran. You are not
disturbed, yes.
You are not currently detecting any disturbances in the force that are not fairly obvious. You know, Ran, you work with him all the time. Should we open this door? Yeah, let's open this door and then we can end off. I think once you get the door open, and that'll be a good place to end.
I've been having all the fun with doors. Does anyone else want to have fun with doors? This one has an electronic lock. No takers?
There's something I want to do, but it is going to wind up with me looking foolish.
You do a lightning storm on the electronic lock.
Hold on. I have a memorandum on how to defeat electronic locks. Just a moment. I'll bring it up on my datapad. All right. Step 1. Okay. All right. All right. I can do that. All right. She takes a step back and kicks it.
I'm going to ask for a strength roll, I'm afraid, but I know that reference. Sadly, your strength roll is not made by, is just made. You made your strength roll. Do not fail. You do not fall over. You kick it and it shudders in its frame, but sadly it does not, in fact, fully get broken through. It is a more sturdy door than that. It is a door.
It was worth a try.
Can I rummage in the desk?
You may rummage in the desk.
One of us is going to do something useful, and it's not going to be the two people at the door.
The desk has snacks in it and some very ancient, boring office supplies. The snacks look fresher. Bags of chips and stuff.
I remove the snacks, wander over, and offer one helpfully to Antuxa.
You know what? I'm going to intentionally fail this. I'll take a snack. Thank you, darling.
Cannon, one of the boring office supplies is a roll of masking tape that has since fused into a solid piece of glued together paper that is dry rotting.
I mean, probably. Yeah, probably.
Now, my understanding from experience is if you crit fail something, you're rolling at penalties afterwards, correct?
If you are allowed to roll afterwards until the thing has cooled down, yes.
Fair enough.
If you fail something, that will also sometimes provide penalties where you have to fatigue to push past it, or you can wait a little while, do it again.
Well, I'm resting my telekinesis other for now, so I think I'm going to do telekinesis self to try to kick the door harder.
I'm getting out of the way.
Yeah, I backed up for a reason.
Roll your teak self.
The mountain won't come to Muhammad, so I'm kicking the door down.
Roll your teak self. Made by 4. Okay, roll
Made
your
by
strength
4 with my
then.
teak self.
Yes, roll your strength plus 4.
Plus 4. I press that button. I click that button. I get...
You make it by 7. Let's see. The door... Why am I rolling frantics? I don't want to do that. The door crunches open. It swings on its hinges.
I look over it and took
the room in.
You loosened it for me.
Of course, darling. Thank you for acknowledging my contribution.
No, by all means, thank you. And I stroll in like I own the place.
The room beyond has a patterned carpet on it. There's a fake fireplace to the north, which is having Hole of Flames flicker in it cheerfully. There's a large bookshelf on the northwest corner. There's a desk with papers and whatnot on it, and it looks like I used the datapad icon. One actually looks like a fixed computer. There's a bed in one corner. There's windows to the south that are closed. There's windows to the west which are open, and in fact, someone appears to have tied one of the curtains to the other curtain, and the window is open. There's a nice seat over here as well. The books in this bookshelf are a bit sparser. It looks like some they wanted and left what they didn't want, or something. It's basically the same sorts of things. Some of them are reports of more modern battles in the war, but cheap ones, printed stuff. They look impressive, but these are not expensive books.
They look impressive, and you open them up and you find out they're the Harlequin romance equivalent of books about historical battles.
Yeah, something about that, yeah. Personal testimonies. Ran is hacking into the computer. You turn, and you're sitting there.
I turn it on, I pick up the mouse, and I say, "Hello, computer."
The computer boots up and asks, and has the password field.
Sudo, you don't need to see my identification.
You did make the hacking by 5. You can get in with your logistics passwords.
Yes, that is the logistics password. Some of those letters have been replaced with numbers, but essentially that's what it translates to.
Let me quickly check a file that I have. It's a different file, but you know what? It comes up with, "Good morning, Mr. Aran."
Oh no. This computer has broken through the fourth wall. Oh. No, not Aaron.
No, not Aaron. Yes, not Aaron. Iran.
It's
Iran.
They're Irish.
Or something. Iran. We'll go with Iran. Well, who knows how it's actually pronounced? You only know how it's spelled. It's using text.
Things would be much easier if everyone spelled things phonetically.
You would think.
The letter C would
then you have the stresses
from our lexicon.
We'd have K and S. Probably not have a Q either. You'd have a KW, just a K.
But who needs the quickie mark? Anyway.
I think, however, that we should probably be ending off soon, because really what I should have done is ended off with the fact that the window is open and the curtains appear to have been arranged for a getaway.
Yes,
I made a search roll by 9.
Oh, you made a search roll by 9. Okay, Sen, what are you doing with your search roll by 9? Because I don't want to forget.
I am going to basically toss the room. I am going to go through the whole of fireplace and make sure nothing's hidden in there. I am going to pull out the books and flip through them a little bit. I am going to go through everything that might be holding a hard copy of some sort of files.
The files that you find that are hard copy are appallingly right there on that desk, out in front of everything. And a few others have been stuffed in drawers. They appear to be notations, letters, and comments on various types of, those look like names for spice That's a Republic name for spice. That's one of the you know that term. Someone from the Republic wrote this stuff, okay? And on one of them is the time and date that is equivalent for when the ship got in that the Alderaanian honey brandy was also on. And how about I end off right there? Because that seems like a reasonable dun-dun-dun.
But if we end off right there, we'd have to wonder whose mom writes books.
Oh, I think it's Eo's. Hey, Eo,
Mm-hmm.
what's the URL for your mom who writes books?
ElizabethMcCoy.com.
Excellent. And speaking of other URLs that might be...
You cut off there. I don't know what you'd be referencing because you cut off after you said URLs that might be, and might be what?
Interesting.
I don't know. I mean,
Interesting.
there might be giants. There might also be aaronbsmith.com/cogwheel where I put all of these podcasts. There might also be is.aaronbsmith.com/@cogwheel where you can follow us on the Fediverse. And there might also be patreon.com/cogwheelgaming where you can help us keep the lights on, along with other illustrious patrons, including Ellie, Shanshan, Walter, Liv Droman, and patron emeritus Cindy.
Until next time, this is Beth saying, oh my goodness, I've got so many kids here. Come in and have some pizza, dear. That's right, all of you in. Oh, so adorable. Oh, and so let's get you washed up.
The pizza.
Okay, form an orderly line and wash your hands.
The pizza is also
the pizza?
cursed. Never mind.
No, the pizza is not cursed. Only that pizza over there is cursed. It has anchovies and pineapple.
But
It's
comes with
heirloom
your choice
pizza,
of
though.
toppings.
Yes. It's heirloom pizza? Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. Good night, everyone.
It's heirloom pizza because it was made
That's
with heirloom
sentimental pizza.
It's been passed down for generations.
And no,
So
we
it's
don't mean the recipe.
fossilized pizza.
It's probably in a stasis chamber. It's as fresh as the day it was made.
It's a family stasis chamber that has also been passed down. There used to be a sis in it. They're off on adventures with the Jawa and the Twi'lek. Anyway, good night.
Anyway, good night, everybody. Go to bed. Get some sleep.